You are listening to 101.5. This is The Property Show, and I'm with Lee and Joe this morning. We've got Andrew Turner on the line.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Great to be on board.
That's great. Now, I'll just introduce Andrew is our Queensland sales manager for realestate.com, and as most people that are interested in real estate out there would know, that's probably one of the main sources that they use to check the realestate.com on the internet. So, Andrew, recently at the Gold Coast, with the conference that you held there, I believe there were quite a few caboolture agents there.
Yeah, it was actually the Australian Real Estate Conference, or ARIC as it's known, and it's run by I suppose, John McGrath and so forth. And
yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see so many agents there, and there was a great turnout from caboolture agents, and hearing some fantastic speakers and taking away, I'm sure, some great tips and ideas for their local market.
Now, I hear there was something about an iPad.
Yes, there was. Realestate.com actually had a competition for agents to win an iPad, and we received a lovely poem from Lacey Atkins from Richardson and Wrench Caboolture, who, out of, I think, probably over 1,000 entries, was chosen as the winner of the iPad, and we recently presented her with that, which, strangely enough, she was actually wanting to get an iPad, so it was great.
Oh, that's good to know. I'd like an iPad, but I don't know how good I'd be at using them. I must master that one day.
Yeah, that's all right. Just hand it to any kids and they'll soon show us all
exactly.
how to use them.
Probably hand it to my granddaughter.
Yeah.
Now, I believe Donald Trump was at the event. Now, what did that gentleman speak about?
Yeah, look, Donald came in via satellite, and we had probably a 50-minute session of him, and he talked about just being, true to your word. Spoke about the importance of relationships, and he spoke about bringing the Midas touch to that. Certainly talked that he loved real estate agents. Obviously, his industry is built up on real estate, and he certainly looks at past success, and their reputation is a key thing when he's looking at someone to do business with. Okay,
so how long do you think, or how long did his interview go for?
For about 50 minutes.
Okay.
So, and he actually had stepped out from a wedding of his friends at one of his Trump country clubs to do the dial-in.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how was his hair?
His hair was as usual. Don't think it moved. And he was the usual Donald.
I guess with that amount of money, you can wear your hair however you want.
I think you can set your own standard.
I think so. Now, I also believe that there was some 15 minutes of fame for yourself. Now, what was that concerning?
Yeah, there was a Real Estate Uncut show that they were filming there, which was actually going out, live to people that couldn't attend ARIC.
Yes.
And I was up there with Greg Vincent and Kevin Turner and so forth, doing some interviews around our new campaign reports that we've got on realestate.com for agents and for vendors. Okay.
And you feel it was responsive? People were attentive to that and interested to know about it?
Yeah, it was something that we've evolved our reporting, and I think it was the chance for agents to be more informed as to what's happening with properties in their advertising online, and certainly for them to help guide their vendors on what prospective buyers are doing with regards to their properties and so forth, because I think the shift, and a lot of agents now actually talk this way, and it was brought up on the day that really people are doing an online inspection first before considering a physical inspection. So the fact that we can track now all the things that they're doing, if they're viewing photos, getting the address, saving the inspection times, the agent can sit down with the vendor and have a chat about what's actually happening, I suppose, behind the scenes before they actually get to physically meet some of these prospective buyers.
I think actually you've hit the nail on the head there. Obviously you have the stats and so forth to prove that, but I mean, we as agents, we see it every day, and over the years it has changed more and more so. You see people come in, they have a much more informed idea of what they're looking for. They've done a lot more research, and a lot of them have narrowed it down, actually to the point where sometimes you worry a little bit because you worry that they've narrowed it down too much. They come in with so much information, they've already done their homework, and they'll say along the lines of, well, I've viewed these on the net, I wish to look at this one, and this one. So, yeah.
There's probably a couple of ways of looking at it. Is that the good thing, I suppose, is you've got they've self-qualified themselves to actually physically turn up to the property.
Definitely.
So a great opening question to someone when they come to an OFI is, have you been looking online?
Yes.
We'd like to think all on our side, but, have they been looking on any side?
Yes.
That person is really a qualified inspector, because you're right, we're probably time poor and want everything now, and if they've taken the time to come to that property, I'd be definitely engaging with that person at a reasonable level to find out a bit more about their buying habits. And on the flip side, we probably see that people are actually doing it for choosing an agent to actually list with.
Yes, yeah, that's true too. Okay. Now, from your point of view, if you were to ask any real estate agent who was at your Australian conference, right, what's the biggest change in how they market their properties has been over the last 10 years? I mean, surely the internet has to get a mention there. What do you think, how have the online habits of Australians changed? I know we've touched on it a little bit, but anything more so?
Yeah, definitely. The first thing I'll just fix up there, it actually wasn't our conference.
I'm sorry, I apologise.
That's okay. We were one of the sponsors, so I don't want to take away from the main people that put that on, but it was, certainly a great event.
Yes.
Look, the change for agents, I suppose, is that, again, very much about that physical contact 10 years ago. You would come to the agent, ask all the information, etc. That has now been shifted to, we're an information age where the information is at our fingertips. So, we certainly see now that, well over 70% of people are browsing the internet via a mobile device these days.
Yes.
We've actually moved not only from a physical PC to laptop to now actual mobile device. And the data is sort of saying that, mobile internet, including sort of iPads, etc., will surpass desktop use probably by the end of 2012. So more people accessing via a handheld device.
Yes, it seems to be the go with everything, doesn't it, actually? And it just is a reflection that it's also passed on into real estate.
Yeah, and it's another transition for agents to be ready. Is that is your website ready for mobile device? How does it view from a handheld position? And the importance of having a good website, but having a good mobile interaction as well, so that it's quick and easy, because that's what people want these days.
I know a lot of branding agencies do already have that system in place, and it is something that is getting used more often.
Yeah, no, we've got some fantastic things, and some of the Kapulja agents up there have got some excellent mobile sites, etc. So it's encouraging, because they're meeting where consumers are going, and really that's what we're all chasing, is where consumers are and how to best interact with them.
Exactly. Okay, now we all know about social media. It definitely has its good and bad points, but it's definitely here to stay. So what could you tell us about social media and the way people are searching, for selling or buying property with that?
Yeah, look, social media is, for some people it's daunting, for others it's a commonplace for them, and I think the main thing is that social media isn't to be used as a spamming device to just pump out tons of information. It's probably referred to best as a top referral side of things. So if I'm going to put something on my Facebook page, really I'm endorsing you. And to give you an idea, we got some recent data that there's about 58,000 properties per month shared on social media from realestate.com.au. So they're actually liking their own property to their own friend network. And this is great for the property seller, because you're getting exposure to another network of friends, etc. And it's great for the agents as well, because they're being endorsed that, I've chosen a certain agent to represent me, and I'm telling my friend network that I'm really happy with that particular agent that I've chosen. So, and for those things, they're good interactions, and you don't need to be a Facebook or Twitter genius to have those things working for you. And it's hitting a hidden database that you normally wouldn't get access to. Yes,
it definitely is a database that can really filter out to a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And if you're a listener and got a property on our site at the moment, I encourage you to go and actually like your own property to your friend network, because you never know when a friend of a friend
of a friend of a friend,
or a friend of a friend might be looking for a property, and all of a sudden you're helping aid the sale of your property with the marketing and the agent.
Yeah, it's actually mind-boggling how things have changed just in the last 4 years. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we say we want lots of information, and I think the days of holding information back for people to come to you have definitely changed. We want to know addresses, because we can plot them on maps and use our handheld device to navigate our way to the property, etc. We know people want to see prices on properties, etc., to have an indication of where they are. So certainly now, I think the other thing is great is that we can track what user habits are, and we can help the agents and sellers, put the right marketing campaigns together to hit that audience of what consumers are wanting.
Well, that's something with actually with real estate. I mean, in the retail sector, in a sense, it's more a reactive business where people have a destination, and that is even changing with online shopping. But I mean, it's reactive where people come to you, whereas I believe the real estate game has always been more proactive, where you have to go out and get those clients, whether it's the seller or the buyer. And I think, the social media is even implementing that or bringing that more to our fore than even before.
Oh, definitely. I think 10 years ago you might be doing, networking groups and things like that. Now you're doing it via an online, and a bit like earlier where, we mentioned you would go out and do a physical inspection. You'll do an online inspection to start with.
Yes.
So the principle behind it is still the same. How we go about it has been the shift, and it's being able to adapt to that and maximise this. And I think now you can actually reach a wider audience and more people through the technology that's available. So it's actually great for a seller because and for a buyer, because you can actually widen the net of prospective people that are interested in your property.
So it's the same old thing. We still do the same basics. It's still the same principles of buying and selling that have always been around since real estate buying and selling happened. It's just that we bring in these new products and these new technologies and so forth to enhance the standard way that it's always been carried out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, in days gone by, you'd probably say a local caboolture property would be found through, local means.
Yes.
Now it's actually Australia and worldwide that people could actually look at properties in caboolture, which is, great for, say, people owning property and people wanting to move to an area that they can learn a lot more about it. And it doesn't matter whether they're based in Melbourne, Sydney, or overseas, they can have access to this, whereas in the past, they wouldn't drive past the board. They wouldn't pick up the local paper because they're not based there.
Exactly.
Those things are still very important to the marketing campaign. So we're not about just online, but it's having that mix to make sure you cover all your bases well. So as you mentioned, the traditional things still are very important.
Exactly. Now, lastly, for our listeners, ones that are hoping to put their property on the market soon, do you have any advice on how you think or how you believe they should choose a real estate agent?
Yeah, look, definitely. One of the things I would sort of look at is that whether you're buying or selling, what we've noticed is people's habits don't change. So if you're a buyer, you might be looking through properties day in, day out online. If you're looking to sell, we're seeing that people are doing the same thing. They're actually checking out who's got properties, etc. So one of the things I would say is do a search for your price point, your property type, etc. in your area. Which properties or styles of ads or agents are actually standing out and appealing to you.
Yes.
So put your hat on as if you're a buyer of your own property. What's appealing to you? So that's a good place to start because that's what other buyers are doing. Naturally, you want someone who's the local expert. So find out what they know about the area, their attention to detail, etc. How are they representing the properties with good photos? Because that's really important through the site. Naturally, when you're meeting with the agent, ask them for references from previous clients because that's obviously great to have those testimonials and so forth. And certainly, as I mentioned, that knowledge of the caboolture area, because you could be dealing with someone that knows caboolture or someone that may be from out of the region.
Exactly.
And you want to give them those hot tips on why caboolture is a great place to live.
Definitely. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the overview from the Australian Real Estate Conference that you were partly sponsors of, obviously.
Yep.
And thank you for your time today, and I'm sure we'll be in touch again soon and speak soon again.
Lovely. Thanks for the opportunity and good luck to everyone out there with their properties.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.